It's a muscle truck showdown at Holly LS Fest West, and I win!
Here's what's supposed to happen in this episode, but you never know. We want to take our very first trip to Holly's LS Fest West in Las Vegas, and we're taking Finnegan's 67 Chevy truck.
I'm so excited about this because we're going to experience the truck together, because the truth is I've owned it since 2007. It's got about 400 miles on it. Like, I legit haven't driven this truck anywhere. I don't think I've ever washed it, and it was thrown together in a week at my house, and me and you now get to go to Vegas.
Great. Yeah. I've seen 200-mile-an-hour burnouts. Can we do that?
Oh, once.
Oh, they have a burnout pit at LS Fest. They have burnout pit, autocross, drag racing, all of that.
I want to do all of that.
Me too. So show me this thing.
So this is my 1967 Chevrolet C10 pickup. It is a factory small window short bed truck. I bought this from a farmer in St. Helena, California, way back in 2007 when I was the editor of Sport Truck Magazine. I spent about a year with my friends building it, and eventually I ran out of money and ended up having to sell this to a friend of mine. 10 years later, I run into that same friend at a car show. He tells me he has the truck, he hasn't driven it, it's been sitting under a car cover the whole time, and I was able to buy it back without any of the drivetrain in it. Then I spent about a week and a half with all my friends throwing this entire truck together with an LT4 Chevy crate engine, a 6XD sequential gearbox. We took out all the airbags, changed it over to hydro shocks. We blew up the clutch like the next day doing 6-gear burnouts, and it's never been on a proper road trip. So right now, Freiburger and I, we're gonna take this thing around the block, find out all the last-minute things that are still wrong or not tight. We're gonna drive it all the way to Vegas for LS Fest, where we're gonna do burnouts, we're gonna go racing, we're gonna have as much fun as we can to find out, does it work, and is it gonna catch on fire? All right, so these are suspension, up and down. So it's slower than airbags, but there's only one battery. The battery that starts the truck is the battery that runs the suspension.
Is this gonna ride like a mini truck?
No, it rides great.
Is it a triple disc clutch?
No, it's a twin, but I blew it up a few weeks ago, put a brand new one in. We didn't have a flywheel for it, so we just DA'd the flywheel and stuck the new clutch on it.
Okay.
So I'm trying to be gentle because, I mean, you know what happens. Yeah, the brakes are awful. Like, that's all of it right there. That needs looking at. And I think it's because we have the wrong master cylinder.
Do you have to use the clutch to shift?
You shouldn't have to, right? They make a box for this thing. This shifter has a strain gauge built into it.
Yeah.
And there's a box. Hello. There's a box that goes in between the coils and the ECU, interrupts the ignition when you pull the shifter.
Yeah.
I don't have it installed. So I'm clutching it, but you can just flip the throttle and grab it, and it'll do it without the clutch. It's kind of like the transmission in Blasphemy, but a lot easier to drive around town.
Okay, brakes first.
Brakes first. Needs to go back in the shop, for sure. It's uncomfortably close, my head, to the ceiling, and the brakes are almost non-existent. So we're gonna pull it back in here and do some work and then leave for Vegas, but also get doors on the way. Because these stupid doors not only don't have door handles, there's no mirrors, it's really dangerous. So on the way, I'd like to go get doors.
Yeah, they're bad.
They suck.
All right, I'll pull you in.
First thing we have to do is take the seat out of the truck. I know that sounds weird. However, the master cylinder for the front brakes, the rear brakes, and the clutch pedal are all behind the dash. So this is just gonna get way easier to take the seats out. And then once they're out, I'll talk Dave into helping me lower them. All right. It's not so bad.
Yeah, it just barely squeaked.
Now, I'm gonna take the cluster out. Unfortunately, when I put that pedal setup in there, the dash was not in the truck. This has a Willwood under dash pedal setup. These are 1 1/8" bore master cylinders. One for the front brakes, one for the rear, one for the clutch pedal. All of it is too big for the system that I have. By reducing the size of these, when I step on the brakes, it's going to increase the amount of pressure going to the brakes, and so it's going to stop better, but this is going to be a pain in the butt, beyond the fact that you're feeling the reservoirs behind the dashboard. So we have all this fluid here that we need to get out and get this out and replace everything, and yeah, that's why I took the seat out of the truck, why the dash has to come apart. It's going to be fun.
While he's doing that, let me show you kind of how the master cylinder setup on this thing works. There's two masters, a front and a rear, and you've got a push rod coming out of both of them, just like you would on a regular master cylinder. And then you have here what's called a balance bar, and then your pedal is pressing on a bearing in the middle of that balance bar. So this is what it looks like when it's at rest, because we have the front brake push rod longer than we do the rear brake push rod. When you step on the pedal, the balance bar is going to even out like this. Therefore, the push rod will go deeper into the front master cylinder than it does into the rear. And what that does is it's going to initiate pressure sooner on the front. It's also going to displace more volume on the front. And basically what that's doing is balancing your front and rear brakes. You want the front to activate a little bit before the rear. Think of it on your conventional car about how you might use an adjustable proportioning valve and you want the front to hit just a little bit sooner than the rear. This is sort of the race cool guy way to do that.
Well, there's part of our problem. Okay, see that in there? That is a really, really small piston. Our new caliper, really, really big piston, so this is gonna have way more clamping force for the same pressure. These are actually rear brake calipers, and how they ended up on the front of my truck, I have no idea. I'm gonna blame myself. I own the truck. Clearly, it's my fault, but this is gonna help a lot.
Now we have all four brake hoses loose, and we're going to try and pump all the fluid through the system so that we don't have to gush brake fluid everywhere underneath Mike's dash when we take the master cylinder out. We were thinking about just squirting one end at a time, but here's the deal. Let's say you only disconnected the front, you've got this balance bar situation, and you pump all of this fluid out, and so there's none in here, but the rear still has fluid and therefore is still making pressure. That means there's no pressure happening on this push rod, and there's pressure here, so that balance bar is going to get all cattywampus, and it's not going to push all the fluid out of the other master cylinder. So what we're hoping we can do is sort of out of all four at the same time. Okay, I'm going to start pushing fluid through. Is it doing the... It's not squirting? Well, no wonder you don't have brakes. That's weird. Okay, I'm going to start pushing fluid through. It's sucking air back. I need to squirt it and leave it down for a second.
It's coming out.
Our goal is to get the master cylinders out, and that means we've got to take the steering column out in order to get to them. Next up, those little white reservoirs are coming off. Aha. It came out remarkably clean. I didn't get any fluid everywhere. Now, this whole Cingolini should come out of here. There we go.
See, that wasn't so bad. We just had to take out the gauges, the steering column. You know, no big deal.
Watch the drippage. That could have been worse. Could have been a lot better.
So for the last 10 minutes, we've been telling you all about this magical pedal assembly that has 3 master cylinders on it. And this is it right here. We finally got it out of the truck. We have the ones for the brakes, but not the clutch. Should be here tomorrow. Ideally, you would bench bleed these, which is essentially purging the air out of each one by filling it with fluid and then slowly stroking the pedal the full length of the chamber. Because once it's in the car, the pedal won't stroke the whole way. It will not get all the air out of here. The issue is, if you put these reservoirs on top of here, this won't go back in the show truck. We need to devise a way to bench bleed it out here, take the reservoirs off, get it back in there without spilling any fluid, or we lose the shop.
We're still waiting on parts for the brake stuff, so we're trying to move ahead with that, and we're dealing with the seats. The whole floor in this thing, or at least the tunnel, is moved up, so the seat bracket can't go down far enough, so we're gonna modify it to make that work.
Like in a stock truck, this would be fine. Your head wouldn't be anywhere near the roof. In my truck, not so much. These are just pieces of C-channel aluminum that I welded a plate to the bottom.
Out driver's side. So this is out driver's side. We're gonna test fit it in the truck, get it where we want it, bolt these on, which will basically lock down the adjuster so it can't be moved. But who would ever want to move the seat up in this thing?
Yeah, I don't need less legroom, I need more legroom. Oh, that's pretty good. I'll be able to see the gauge. Yeah, this is good.
Okay.
There we go.
All right, the seats are in and done. While we were doing that, our clutch master cylinder showed up, so we can install that on the pedal assembly so that Finnegan can put the pedals back in the truck.
Good news, I have everything I need to bleed the master cylinders, and the key are these radiator bypass caps. I'm gonna use them to cover up the reservoir right here. I'm gonna fill this here, bleed it here on the bench, then I'm gonna remove this, cap it, and I believe if I cap it, I can keep the level of fluid above the top of the piston area, keep air out of it, put the whole thing in the car, pull my rubber cap back off, put the reservoir back on, fill the reservoir, connect the line without essentially breaking the seal, putting air in the system. All right, one down. Now lift that up. I'm trying to bend it over because it's gonna.
Woo!
Move this away, and it should not have air in it. Oh no! Oh no! Ah! Dave. Oh no! Oh no! The cap came off. But we didn't lose the fluid. How about a zip tie around the thing, right over the top? It won't slip off. Or a zip tie around the circumference.
It's giving me anxiety.
Boom.
Got it?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Want to see a less than ideal position for driving? My foot's on the gas. This is where the clutch pedal is now. Slight miscalculation with where it needed to be adjusted. The problem is we have to remove the whole thing to adjust it. The pedals are way too close to the dash. We needed them to go this way towards the firewall so that you're not driving with your knees in your chest.
To adjust the pedal position, we have to shorten the rods that activate all these master cylinders.
All right, let's try again.
That's looking promising.
Look, I could see this probably getting into the steering wheel. It seems like it's still too far out there.
To shorten it, we'll have to cut that rod.
Okay.
All right, we're taking this all apart again because the pedal height wasn't right. And to adjust that, you have to adjust the length of these rods. And the rods are now bottomed out, so we need to cut ½ an inch off each one of them and put it all back together. You can sense the joy in my voice. It's a party now.
Oh yeah, much better.
We're finally assembling it for the final time again. The real trick here is going to be getting fluid in that thing. Yay. Wow, that is a win. We're gonna bleed the brakes now, and it's a little bit different with the dual master cylinder than it is when you normally see us bleed brakes. Typically, we will bleed the rear brakes and then move on to the front. In this case, we need to do side to side. And so you'll see Mike on the front and Mason at the back. They both need to work the bleeder screws at the same time. Willwood calls it a 3-man bleed.
All right, down.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, and down.
Lots of air. Closing. A lot of bubbles. So brakes are bled completely. I'm stoked.
Steering column back in.
I'm really glad the brakes didn't work because when we took the column out the first time, I noticed there were no bolts holding it together. We get to live now and have brakes All we have left to do is install the gauges and then put the truck up in the air and nut and bolt check the entire thing because it was assembled in a week. Done. Truck can go in the air now. First, we need to go over the truck from front to back, make sure nothing's gonna fall off. Second, this is where all the action is. The bottom side of this truck is awesome. This is the beautiful part. This is a billet sequential manual gearbox from 6XD. It is race car stuff for the street, and it's incredible. And it's very small and compact and light, and it's shifting nirvana. This is all the original chassis that we made in 06. We now have Mittler Brothers hydro shocks at the front and the rear. The airbags are gone. We added a mandrel bent stainless steel exhaust here that wasn't before. So here is exactly why we need to look under this truck. This is the wiring harness for the O2 sensor that is melted to the header because it wasn't routed well. It's just laying on there. We're just gonna disconnect it. We're gonna move it, employ some zip ties strategically, and it'll be fine after that. Oh yeah, so much better. Let's try the brakes.
Whoa!
We have brakes.
Wow!
Yeah, we
have brakes.
And the clutch, like butter.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Clutch is amazing now.
I feel you should play the music of our people.
I concur. I love that noise.
Have you ever driven it on the highway?
Briefly.
Yeah? How about traffic?
Nope.
You're gonna get to.
Let's see. I got fuel pressures. I got boostesses. I got waters. I got oils.
It was fun while it lasted.
Yes, it was. Yay, Los Angeles. This is why people don't drive cars with stick shifts anymore.
Yeah. All right, that was different. What just happened? It's like it ran away like a diesel.
Yeah, the throttle just, like...
Stuck open.
Stuck. Okay.
I don't like the unpredictability of that.
That is weird. It's like the drive-by-wire pedal just said, hello.
I would stay well back from people.
It wasn't wide open. It was like part throttle. There are so many people here, and they're all driving stock cars. I mean, yeah, their throttles aren't sticking, but are they really living? Ah, it's doing it again.
Doing it again?
Yep. Yeah, look, it says TPS error. It's doing it right now. And see the position?
Yep. That's it. It doesn't know.
It's got to be that wiring. Yeah, they told me it's a safety built into it. When it loses voltage, it just shuts off. It cruises. We just drove 80 miles from our tech center in El Segundo to here in Lancaster, California for a very good reason. I need doors for this thing. I made a post on the internet. A cool guy named Johnny, who lives here and has that sweet Nova, responded and said, I have actually 2 sets of doors to choose from, and I'm about to trade him, I think, a hoodie and a hat.
Oh, they're even the right color.
One of them is. This has got glass in it, Freiburger.
Yeah, that has glass. This one, the glass was broken.
Yep.
Dude, this is good. It's got a vent window. It's got a side window. Can I be greedy? Do you have keys to the door? That would be awesome. This will work. And you're down to trade?
Yeah.
All right, cool. No backseats though.
Cheapest doors ever.
That's mine.
This is awesome. I wanted doors for so long. Finally. Thank you, I appreciate it. Good to meet you, Austin. Thank you. Hotel and beer?
Yeah. All right, that was super cool.
I feel like celebrating. I have a line lock. Want to see it?
You're gonna set her down on the ground?
Yeah. We should leave before the neighbors kill us.
Probably.
New day, new parking lot, new doors. I'm excited about that.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Doors freed.
Okay. You want to work the jack and I'll hold the door? There we go. All right.
The thing about this aftermarket door panel is that it's way larger than anything that ever came on these trucks. These only had a door panel this big, not the full door. So it's super custom.
Yeah. Here's a tip for you guys. The door hardware holding the regulator, the door lock, and the door latch into C10 doors is notorious for seizing up and getting stuck. So the key here is to get a screwdriver that has a hex built into the shaft. And so I'm gonna clamp that on there. I'm gonna push on the end of the screwdriver while turning it with this. Yeah. Undone.
Ta-da!
Go. Next step, we now need to temporarily hang our gutted door because it doesn't have a mirror. I bought mirrors, so we're gonna hang the door in there. I'm gonna get in the driver's seat. Dave's gonna hold the mirror somewhere on the door where I can actually use it and it looks cool. Can you tilt it up? I can't see the bed sides. Can you go in more?
Well, remember the door's not shut all the way, but right now it's as far in as it'll go. Well, we mocked the doors so that we could mock the rear view mirrors so that we could install those before we put all the guts into the door, but then the rear view mirrors were wrong. So now we're unhanging the door and going back to installing guts. Wow, that was awesome. I'm so impressed.
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna be back and forth helping him with this job, but I'm also restoring the other door that hopefully we don't have to take apart. Just gonna lube it all up and like make it work. I'm so proud of myself. The latch mechanism on the driver's side used door was completely rusted solid, and I just fiddled and smacked it and lubed it, and all of a sudden, everything works like a genius.
Apparently we're going to Death Valley, where it's gonna be even hotter. And then we'll probably want to take the doors off because although my truck has air conditioning, of course, it ain't charged.
Does it go down there? Or does it go uphill?
I know it doesn't look like we are done, but we are, in fact, finished assembling both the driver and passenger door. We're just not gonna put them on right now because it's blazing hot out here. So we're gonna once again strap them into the bed, but not before Freiburger signs his handiwork because he expertly reassembled that door, lubing all the critical components so the window goes up and down smooth. The vent window works, the door locks work. He's a man that knows what to do with lube. And before we leave, we're gonna autograph that door because that one is completely empty and useless to me. We're gonna let some fans have it.
Cool.
All right.
Ready?
Let's do this.
I may actually wear the shoulder harness now.
This is a survive the heat thing. The breeze is nice. I like it without the doors. It's good. This is nice. Man, I feel great. We're gonna make it.
We're doing Las Vegas the hard way. From LA, we took Highway 14 north to 395, which is an awesome scenic corridor. And tonight we're gonna stay in Lone Pine, and we're right outside of Lone Pine, what's called the Alabama Hills, where they've made Western movies since the earliest possible 20s. Like hundreds, if not thousands of movies have been shot in the rock formations around here. And we're in the shadow of Mount Whitney, which is the highest peak in the continental United States. So we're that good. And tomorrow, I think up to Bishop and hang a right across Death Valley and into Las Vegas.
Ah, well, let's go there then.
Yeah, let's go there. I love this truck. I don't need to own it, but I do love it.
So how tall is this mountain that I can't see because the sun is blinding me?
14,505.
Wow. That does not look that tall.
No. Well, that was cool. This was a great day, actually. Yeah. I really liked the no doors. Oh, yeah.
Well, we made it to our hotel, and we have doors with perfectly good door locks, so we're gonna install those doors. So far, so good. There you go. That looks good.
All right, we got to get the doors on this thing. The problem is we want to lock it up tonight, and we found out there's a problem getting them to align, and they have to be on there for racing at LS Fest, and so we have no choice but to get the doors right. That's not going to happen tonight because it's getting dark. We're getting mosquito bitten, so that's all going to happen tomorrow morning. And by the way, tomorrow we also have to drive all the way through Death Valley and get to Las Vegas for LS Fest on Saturday.
Where it's really hot, and we'd like to make that drive without the doors. That'll work for tonight.
That door match is good.
Right? I don't want to take it off, but when it's 101, I won't want it on there either.
Oh, you can leave that one on. I'm taking mine off.
No. We need all the flow for Death Valley.
I didn't tell you this, but I was at a dive bar last night and ran into a biker who said he just rode through yesterday and it was 120 degrees.
120?
120. We're taking the doors off and we're gonna get to Vegas as quickly as we can because if we wait longer, it's gonna be even hotter. And once we get there, we're gonna have to jam and get these doors adjusted and on there so that we can race on Saturday.
Yeah. Yep. Perfect.
Death Valley, 104 miles.
Oh, it's nice out.
Yeah, when you're moving, it's great. When you have no doors, it's awesome. Feel like you want doors at the track? Just...
Yeah.
We're in Panamint Springs near Death Valley, and we stopped to get ice and gas and stuff like that. I'm thinking no.
No plane kill?
No.
Air kill?
There's no way I'm actually, like, flying in this, ever.
Think of the possibilities of the new show.
Air kill.
It'll never make it past the pilot, though.
See what you did.
Yeah.
That was actually really good.
Thank
Did
you.
you check that?
Thank you.
The truck's not even getting hot. I mean, it's not overheating.
No, it's a little spicy because we're actually in Death Valley. Doors are already off. Let's air condition. That seems legit. Triple stack? It's already broken, so this sticker really can't make it any worse. But it does show that we were here. I've never sat on this side of this truck before.
I've never driven a transmission like this before.
Dial.
Oh, wow, drives good. Okay.
Let's ride.
Flat spot there.
Yeah, that's that one little hole in our map.
Okay, easy enough.
one more gear. Ah, there we go.
And the coolant temp is good.
Happy.
I feel this is going to be a big handful on the autocross.
Could be. I've never done it.
This would have been scary if we had not fixed the clutch and brakes.
Oh, yeah. That'd have been a disaster.
This is the only Roadkill vehicle to have ever survived Death Valley, and I would wager it's the only one that ever could. I love it. I don't want to own it. It has too many, like, gadgets and dingleberries on it for me.
I know what this looks like. Oh, they're putting the doors on again in another hotel parking lot. But it's different this time, I promise you. You know why? Because this is Las Vegas, and we're definitely gonna get broke into if we don't put the doors on. But it also means tomorrow, we can go to our final destination.
Yeah.
We said we're going to LS Fest?
We're going to Holly LS Fest because we've never been before. You know how I know that? Because we said it right at the top of the show. Let's see if the door fits. Don't slam it because I probably screwed it up. Whoa!
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Let me introduce you to Freiburger.
Cheers.
Body man.
Yeah. Absolutely nailed it. Okay, up. Stop. Oh, it's digging in right here. Look at that.
Oh, it's too low.
No, it needs to go out right there. I've like battled this door on and off a bunch of times, and right now, if I give it a lift, it does close that much, which is good enough to lock it for tonight.
And we have a souvenir. This truck hasn't been very many places, but it's been through Death Valley.
That's way crooked, but you know what? So's the door. All right, tomorrow, LS Fest West.
Yes.
Holly, here we come. We did it.
We did it.
As if Death Valley wasn't enough, we finally made it to our destination, Holly's LS Fest West, here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Boom! And we brought a special guest star right here. Yep, it's the original muscle truck. You've seen this in a bunch of episodes of Roadkill and Roadkill Garage. Been around since the very beginning of the show. It's a 1974 Chevy short bed stepside, and way back in 2006 or 7, I LS swapped it. It's just a LS6. It's stock long block, it's got a cam, it's got headers. I think it makes about 450 horsepower. It's nothing like Mike's truck at all.
Yours was before mine. In fact, I LS swapped mine because I saw yours.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
So we're gonna have a friendly competition, at least right now it's friendly. We're gonna do, I think, the drag strip and the autocross, and if there's time left, maybe we'll throw down some tire smoke.
309. Oh, wow.
All right, let's throw this on the doors, then we have to go through tech, then we're racing. This event we're at is Holly's LS Fest West. This started many, many years ago in Bowling Green, Kentucky, the home of Holly, and I'm pretty sure it was invented by my buddy Bill Tishner. And I remember when he told me, we're gonna do an event only for vehicles powered with General Motors LS engines. This has turned huge. Now there's 2 events, one in the east, one in the west. Here's what it's about. Just having fun with LS stuff. They have drag racing, there's gonna be autocross, and they also have an area where people can go nuts doing burnouts and stuff. Street takeover style, but legally. The other thing you'll see here is cars of all years, makes, and models with LSs in them, because Holly makes everything you need to swap those engines. And these days, nobody cares about brand loyalty when they're LS fans. So you're gonna see Jeeps, Fords, Mopars, and all sorts of freaky stuff, all LS powered. Okay, here we go. Finnegan should cream me here. The muscle truck used to be fast. It had like a loose converter and 513 gears and a bunch of stuff, and nitrous. But now it's just 3.0 highway gears, stock converter. I'll be super happy if it goes in the low 13s.
I'm gonna do something I've always wanted to do, which is lay my mini truck flat on the tarmac on a drag strip and do a burnout. Oh, come on. Oh, you said no. Oh, he just ruined my fun.
He can't do a burnout with that trans.
I was gonna do a burnout. He said no. Oh well.
Okay, here we go.
My goal here is not to spin. I don't even know what RPM to leave at. I just don't want to spin.
I think he might have stalled it off the line or something like that.
Well, not a lot went right on that run. It felt like I drove through the clutch a little bit. Then, well, it wouldn't go in second gear. And Freiburger kicked my butt once again with less horsepower.
All right, let's see if we can go again. Give Mike a better shot at this.
Let's do a burnout this time.
Burnout for show.
So I got a burnout this time. That's good news.
Yep, see, I spun the tires that time. That big old burnout burned me.
Yay! A lot of wheel hop, but I did beat him that time.
Yep, that's what I get for doing the TV show Burnout. If I just cleaned the tires and gone, I would have been good, but I greased them up.
I sucked less. Yay me! So the 1-2 shift, it broke loose and wheel hopped. The wheel hop was bad enough I had to pedal it and get back in it. And then it wheel hopped a little bit on the 2-3, but not as bad. This is definitely not a drag racing suspension.
All I really care about is a low 13 out of that first pass. They're letting us go again. All right, we're doing best 2 out of 3.
I just went 1261 and beat Freiburger. We're now tied 1-1.
I guess I won the best 2 out of 3. But you know what? His truck has way more power than mine. It's just a matter of a slower truck is way easier to get off the line on a street tire.
On the 1-2 shift, the truck went sideways. I had to get out of it. He beat me. It's a rare occasion when I beat that guy. So what I have to do is focus on that part. Round 2, kicked his butt. I don't even think we did a round 3, right? I didn't see it, did you?
I feel pretty good.
Oh, you did a good job of red lighting. 002, nice.
002 accidental reaction time. Your best pass was 1261 at 110.
All right.
Yeah, that was fun for me. You can go destroy me at the autocross now, though. Now we've moved over to the autocross at LS Fest, and what's interesting is Chad Reynolds is announcing this thing. He's interviewing Finnegan right now. Chad and I used to work together, and he's the guy who initially helped me build this truck. So it all comes together. What we're gonna do now is hop in together and we're gonna take a slow pass on the autocross just to make sure we got it memorized. And then I'm gonna be making speed runs and then we'll get out of this truck and hop into Finnegan's. Okay.
That was awesome. Nice work. Dude, all right. Brakes, 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 brakes. Yes. Straight, straight. Freiburger, this is great.
Going for show instead of for speed here.
No, you're going fast. This is great.
Here's where your truck would have bit the dust.
You got it, you got it.
I blew that.
That way.
That would have been fun.
Nice. All right, straight all the way across. There we go. Straight, straight, straight,
Ah,
straight,
straight!
Come on, Dulcich. All right, 180 degrees. This is the end.
Yeah.
Woo! You just ran a 60. That's good.
Let's ask him what the scale is. What's the scale on that?
The fast guys are doing about 44.
Okay. How about clapped out junk like this, though?
Well, there's a lot of clapped out junk like that that was running 45.
Really? Okay. But are they having this much fun?
No, I promise you, you're having a lot more fun.
Yeah. The brakes are shot.
So those are your driving skills.
Yes. I got to agree with that.
Once again, wholly impressed by the muscle truck. It drifts amazing around an autocross course because Freiburger expertly wheeled this thing to a 60-second pass. I gotta be honest, I don't know if I can actually beat that. Okay, no wheel hop.
That's wheel hop. I'm surprised how much body roll it has.
That was awesome. Oh no, there's people on the track.
Oh no.
Is that it?
Are we done? Oh no. They're not moving fast. Oh. Oh.
This feels familiar.
I'm sorry. This is my fault for taking 4 runs. I'm sorry.
Oh, this is roadkill. This is literally roadkill.
We ran out of time. They're sending track workers out for the real event. They had given us time on the track, which was super cool, and I used it all. I have so much guilt. I really do.
I got Freiburgered.
We had fun, though. This thing made it through Death Valley, no problem. I had fun on the drag strip with the muscle truck. With its new highway gear, it ran about what I expected. I fell in love with his truck, which I did not expect to. So to me, it's been a solid roadkill.
And I have something to work on.
Yep.
Like, this doesn't handle all that great.
It was better at the lower ride height.
I wouldn't know. I didn't get to do a whole lap.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching Roadkill.
This time on Roadkill, this truck nearly killed us, but we overcame. West in our F-250. And man, it is clapped out. Oh, it's junk. But we rescued it. Fixed. We're in Sandy, Oregon. Our crew guy Mason bought this 67 F-250 4x4, and it's got like a later model grill and stuff, so don't freak out when you see it and you're like, that's not a 67. But regardless, we're going to Wildcat Auto Wrecking, and we're gonna go shopping. This is a Mopar only yard.
Do you think they'll let us on the property in our Ford? What is this, an F-250?
Yeah, 4x4. This truck's great.
So far, so good. I've got a little getting used to the shifter.
Yeah, the carburetor's pretty terrible.
Like, it just has a happy spot near
Yeah.
wide open throttle, and that's it. But our crew guy, Mason, drove this over 100 miles, so I humiliate myself if I have trouble with it.
I know.
Yeah. Being out here in the Pacific Northwest, driving an F-250 from the late 60s, long bed, 4x4 on skinny tires, it's just something feels right about it to me.
100%.
Really?
Yeah. could just drive this home and fix it for Mason, since he obviously would not be able to solve this carburetor on his own.
No.
I'm starting to fall in love with the F-250. I'm seriously considering driving it home now.
It would be a joyous drive.
That's not very good.
It surges.
And pops. Made it. Yeah. I love the truck, but man, it runs like doo-doo.
It does.
The Wildcat Auto Wrecking in Sandy, Oregon. It's a Mopar-only yard, and they have everything, including the wiring harness that we removed from the General Mayhem. So why are we here? Let's just review. A very recent episode of Roadkill Garage had me and Dulcich going to Yakima, Washington to pick up my Wagoneer. And on the road home with the Wagoneer, we stopped by another wrecking yard where Dulcich impulsively bought a 1964 Cadillac DeVille. The DeVille, as you know, is the convertible model. And we weren't able to resist the Cadillac, so we began to motor that thing home. But then we left it right here at Wildcat Auto Wrecking. So on this episode of Roadkill, we had planned to bring the Cadillac all the way home. But then Mason, our crew guy, bought that 67 F-250. And Dulcich and I drove it over here and just fell in love with the thing. So what's gonna happen is Dulcich and I are gonna drive that F-250, hopefully fix it up for Mason along the way. Probably not. And then he is gonna drive the Cadillac. And what this means is that we have twice the chances at failure, but look at it this way. It's also double the chance that at least one of them is gonna make it all the way back to Steve's house. So that's the plan. We're gonna surf around here at the wrecking yard just for a little bit because we can, and then we're gonna hit the road.
We can't rescue our crew member from this truck, but we may be able to rescue the truck from our crew member.
That's a good point. You know what I like about this one?
No.
Is the key all the way over here.
Just like a CUDA.
Yeah. Well, the CUDA's on the tail panel. This is on the trunk.
If you were a collector of police vehicles, it's pure gold.
Oh, there's a bunch of C-bodies over here. Wow, look at that Challenger. This is factory pink. I'm really bad at years on
I think
these.
it's probably a 58, I would guess.
Yeah, I'm not good at that, but I know it's pink. Man, we had a great time walking around Wildcat Auto. We didn't see anything that we wanted to rescue this time. Nothing that was anywhere near running and driving. So I guess we're gonna take off and cross your fingers. We'll see how far we make it.
Be prepared, it's not gonna start.
I know. Ugh. Woo! Wow, look at it smoke out the valve cover. That's got no spark. Stop. You're gonna kill the starter.
I think what we need to do is get one of the production vehicles and put jumper cables to the battery.
Give it a shot. That should fire. It's cranking fast. Wait, wait. Yes! All right, Steve. 8,000 RPM. Woohoo! So you know, this will be a comedy. Let's go. So what are your bets, Steve? Are these both gonna make it all the way to your place?
Oh, 100%.
Which one are we gonna work on more?
This truck,
Yeah. I
the
think so,
Cadillac's
too.
pretty much turnkey as long as we keep oil in it.
Yeah. So here's what this truck is.
So let's hear it.
It's a 1967 F-250. It's got later model, like, front clip on it, grill and fenders, and a different bed. It's a Ford FE engine, FE meaning Ford Edsel. It's a 352, we presume, and it's an NP 435 4-speed transmission with granny low, and I think it's a 205 transfer case, but I have not looked at it to confirm.
What rear end do they use in these?
This should have a Dana 60 and a Dana 44.
Oh, okay. And it's a divorce transfer case, I presume?
Yeah.
does kind of fit the country here.
I love it. Thinking about moving here.
Have you seen any Sasquatches yet?
Not yet. Wow, this thing's smoking out the left bank pretty hard.
Yeah, it is.
I would let this thing cool off and then we should work on it.
Yeah.
We should do goop, we should do coolant, we should do something about the carburetor.
Yeah. Once you get going at steady speed, though, I think it's fairly okay.
Where's the hood? Maybe we can lube the hood hinges.
Yeah.
We're anxious to hit the road here, but we figure we need to go through some maintenance. So we're gonna change the oil, change the spark plugs, check the charging system, spray the carburetor because there's not much else we can do right now, and then try it again. Steven mentioned he thought this was a 205 transfer case, which is actually really good. It's not. This is a Spicer Model 24. It is a two-speed, like an F100 would have a Spicer 21 that is actually a transfer case with no low range. Steve, do you mind throwing me a gear oil? Let's hit this with some sauce.
David, come on. Control yourself.
All right, trans.
Hey, David.
There's the one.
Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O, look at that one.
Bingo.
That one's pumping a little oil.
Was that 8?
That was...
Remember? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? It's
Isn't
numbered.
it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8?
No.
Yes, it's number 8. In which case, I wasn't going to argue with you.
This one is junk.
Yes.
Wow. That is a lot of oil. Trans is good.
Good. This battery is not a very comfortable seat, but it's all I've got.
This is a Dana 60 rear axle, and it should have 456 gears in it with really short tires. That is gonna buzz some RPM on the highway.
David, I think you might have some digestive issues need addressing.
This thing was empty. I got all the oil drained out. I think we decided to go 2 goops and 3 quarts of actual oil. 1 goop in. What I'm pouring in here is super thick, super goo, high mileage engine treatment.
So there's no ambiguity about it. This carburetor is not functioning properly. Thinking maybe there's just a little bit of dirt in the air bleeds or something like that. I'm gonna try spraying it out with some carb cleaning, brake cleaner. If it doesn't work any better, we'll probably have to take it apart and rebuild it. I really doubt that's gonna do anything, but might as well give it a shot.
Cranking slow. Oh, it wanted to, it wanted to. There it goes. It's gonna go. Got it. I think we should check the firing order on this thing. Could lead to it running the way it is. Ah, that's a lot of smoke out of the valve cover. I'm gonna check the voltage, see if it's charging, which it isn't. Went from 11.6 to 11.9.
I don't think that's charging
I don't
at all.
think it is either.
What you just witnessed right there is a FE big block Ford running terribly.
154-26378.
Okay.
So here's 15463. Ah, I was hoping that was way wrong.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at the points to see how they are. It appears to be new. The lobes on the cam are not junk. The distributor doesn't have too much wobble in it.
These are all carboned up.
Yeah. I think we're gonna attempt to buy a new cap for the thing and see if that helps. Okay, go, Steve. So much better. The other problem we're experiencing is that the charging system is not working, which we tested just a minute ago.
Yeah, I didn't see anything here on the amp meter, which...
Yeah, wonder, this has got a new alternator on it. Oh, wait, there's wires falling off of it. Okay, I'm gonna make Steve troubleshoot that because he made me change all the fluids, and I'm gonna go get a distributor cap. Part store is just like in this parking lot, super handy. I'm making you rewire the alternator while I go get a distributor cap.
Okay. So that's not connected to anything. This one seems to be connected to something. We're trying to get the charging system working. We found a brand new regulator in the truck bed, and I'm gonna put that in and see if it helps. It can't hurt. So here it goes.
Old cap, new cap. Okay, I don't know if that'll help, but it can't hurt. Now we're gonna test it. Firing.
12.1, 12.2, 12.3, 4, 5. That works. And you'll notice that it runs slightly better. That carburetor is still trash, but we're gonna deal with that later. We gotta find a store that has a carb kit. For now, we're hitting the road.
It has to find carburetor. Man, that's terrible.
Yeah. Oh, we're going east to Mount Hood before we go south.
Okay. It needs that perfect blend of RPM, throttle position, and speed.
It's definitely the carburetor.
Or it could be fuel delivery.
Or that, yeah. It's kind of refreshing not knowing the temperature or oil pressure.
An overheating issue, the engine will speak to us by the smell.
Start to clatter.
The valve train clattering, the inevitable rod knock, the engine seizing.
Right. That guy thought he was getting shot.
The engine's dead.
It doesn't like the sudden decel.
The engine's dead.
This thing died coming down the hill because when you lift off the throttle, I think the idle is too low. We pushed it in here with the help of crew guys and a good Samaritan, which was cool. And now we're gonna see if we can get it running. Yeah, it puked everywhere out the bypass. Steve's gonna idle it up now to see if we can fix that dying problem. Start!
Come on!
Ah,
We need jumper cables.
we need a new fix for this. Sounds good. All right, let me check spark. Hold on, big fire. There we go, it stopped. When you stopped cranking, it stopped burning.
Maybe the coil got hot and now it's not giving a very strong spark. Like, is it a baby spark? Like baby, not baby shark. Don't break out into song here.
It
But
jumped half an inch or
Oh,
quarter
did.
inch.
okay.
Set everything on fire.
Well, you could do a song called Baby Spark if you want to.
No thanks.
We got ourselves a brand new high-performance coil, so hopefully our spark will be more intense and this thing will fire through the fog of blow-by and oil contamination and whatever else. It sounds better to me.
Andy idle it up so it's running faster now. So what do you think? Did it fire up because of the coil or because it cooled down?
Cool down,
Yeah.
and the coil.
Yeah, win! Ha ha!
That was pretty good. Engine's dead. How far do we get?
38 yards.
Oh.
It's arguably worse than before. It's just.
Yeah, something like that.
Right.
Attaboy.
Ooh,
Ooh, that's a lot of pressure.
that is definitely hot.
We didn't even get a quarter of a mile down the road, and it started to really buck and not want to cooperate. Don't do this at home. It can be dangerous. Okay, gotten rid of all the dangerous pressure. Ready?
So the voltage is 10.6 while it's running, but it's only 6 volts when you turn the ignition on. So what I'm seeing here is that it doesn't have full power to the coil when cranking at all, and when it is running, it's low power. We're gonna try a jumper wire from the battery to the coil to see if it makes it run any better.
Oh, for crying out loud, now we got trouble.
We're at the point of troubleshooting by guess. Steve told me to advance the timing, so that's what I'm gonna do. That's advanced. Give it a shot.
Minivan. It's so painful.
This is what you get when you let a production assistant buy a car.
It is absolutely agonizing.
Yes. All right, crew, we need your minivan again. What we're gonna do this time is jump it directly to the starter relay. Didn't do anything.
Do you want to give it a shot of ether and then I'll just start it right up?
The ether's a proven failure.
Yeah, I know, but it makes me feel better.
Yeah, you like it.
It worked.
Let's go.
Mason, move that Cadillac.
Is it not gonna wanna climb the hill?
It will.
That's fuel, right?
Sure does feel like it.
Yeah, I mean, this engine's shot. Although I notice it's not smoking today because of the goop.
Yeah.
We're climbing up the grade to Mount Hood. This is frustrating.
It's not getting any gas.
Yeah. That's a wide spot. You want to stop? What a mess. All right, our new theory is fuel delivery problem is why it won't climb a hill. And the problem with not starting when hot?
It's unrelated.
Unrelated, but frustrating.
We suspect that the built-in fuel filter on the mechanical fuel pump is clogged up because it seems like we're having fuel starvation. Now, that's a cartridge-type filter, and we don't have an extra one, but we do have an inline filter, an electric fuel pump, and a bunch of hose.
We've totally butchered this fuel system together with a ton of hose and zip ties and a pump that we had in the trunk of the Cadillac from our last adventure. I've got it really poorly wired here. What we're gonna do is run the pump and hope that we see fuel flowing in this filter, as long as it doesn't catch on fire.
Hope so.
There it goes.
Really?
Sweet. No leak at the carburetor. What we're doing here is arranging the ground wire for the fuel pump to be grounded inside the cab. That way we can turn it on and off without having to open the hood. Try it, Steve. It's working! All right, Steve, the pump's running. You want to see if it'll fire?
Of course.
Perfect.
This is literally the best it's ever run.
Watch this be the whole fix for the whole thing. Let's go! Oh!
It's me no happy. Ah!
I heard one thing fire.
We need starting fluid.
Steve's making me do starting fluid.
Come on, start!
This thing will not run on ether. How does that make any sense?
You won't start, you won't climb a hill, oh truck. Our boy Mason came and bought you, oh truck.
We're chasing our tails.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, it's one thing, it's the next, it's the next. It's like,
Get back?
oh, what's this?
Yeah, I know.
Look at that.
I just saw that.
Ah,
Something's shorting out inside this distributor.
We found a major and unusual problem with that dead short that was going on in the distributor. The condenser wire, which is connected also to the points power wire, was grounding out against the breaker plate. That should solve all of this. I also noticed that there's some carbon tracking on the tip of the rotor here, so we're just gonna sand that a little bit here on the ground. All right, I'm proud of that. We're good. Rotor, cap. As the sun sets on a beautiful Oregon day here on Roadkill, we're gonna make this thing run and GTFO. Make it run, Steve.
I will make it run right now. You ready?
Like that. Keep it running.
That's the best it's ever run.
Bye-bye. Oh, this is the best it's ever run.
I know.
Oh, still no good. That was not expert troubleshooting on our behalf. We did not display expertise. Well, we eliminated fuel delivery, which I think was a problem.
Yeah.
We solved the short in the distributor, which was clearly a problem.
Absolutely.
And now we're down to the carburetor just being garbage.
Yeah, which it's been all along. Once we get past Mount Hood, the rest of the state is conquered, right?
Yep. Now we're going downhill. I feel pretty good.
It likes downhill.
And cooler weather. Oh yeah, that's cool outside now.
Yeah, actually it's very comfortable. I like it as much as the truck.
Yeah, it's getting into the 60s, I think. Man, what an adventure this has been. We named the truck Pops because that's all it really does. You didn't see it on camera, but we like ran out of gas in the middle of the highway. Big Bad Thrash, get out, fill it up, go. It was like a disaster. And then Mason, who's driving the Cadillac and who owns the Ford, told us that this thing is starting to clatter, meaning the valve train's starting to make noise. So I'm gonna stop and put some goop and some oil in it. 1 goop, 2 oils, and ready to go. What a pain this thing is. Yeah. We gotta fix this tomorrow. No question. We're in Bend, Oregon. Yesterday was a snafu, even by Roadkill standards. See, we need to make 220 miles a day in order to get all the way home, and we only made 130. To me, the problem is we're throwing parts at it, we're flailing, and we need, like, home, complete peace, and actual troubleshooting. So that's what we're gonna do, is work on the truck, we're gonna troubleshoot the thing in order, and then after that, we need to work on the Cadillac because it sounds like the starter's probably falling off.
Yeah, I think you're right on that diagnosis.
I want to check for vacuum leak, then compression test.
Okay, we can do it that way.
Yeah. He's going for the Dulcich 3 pump. We got the fuel pump going. The accelerator pump does work in this thing, by the way. Running. So far, so good. I'm gonna say it's good. Yeah, I think it's all right. All right, shut it off so it doesn't get too hot. Next thing we're gonna do is pull out all the spark plugs and do a compression test.
Still very oily.
It's way worse than the others.
Yeah, that one is me no happy.
Yeah. Here's our compression testing tool. We've got all of the spark plugs out. Steve's gonna crank it. This thing is gonna show us a PSI, and we'll see if there's any one cylinder that's worse than the others. Number 5. Okay, that was 60, Steve.
Yeah, that's all you get is 5 cranks.
Okay, that was 100.
That fires.
Yeah. Now we're going to cylinder number 7.
Let me guess, 85.
That's exactly what that is. All right, now we're going to number 8. This is our biggie. Wow,
70.
70.
Yeah, it's junk. All of these should be like 120-ish. Yeah, that's really bad. That's a big part of this thing not starting, is it's got no compression. And when the rings are that shot, they also don't draw fuel on the intake stroke. They need to have a good seal in order to create a pressure drop. So it's got no vacuum leak, no compression.
No compression. Not only is the engine trash, but the carburetor's garbage and the distributor is junk.
So what do you want to do next, distributor or carburetor?
How about if we go with the carburetor? I've been itching to rebuild that carburetor since we started.
We got a rebuild kit here in town, and what's amazing is a local parts store actually had this distributor, so we're gonna mess with that later as well. Look at that crud right there. Hopefully that's all the way through the carburetor and the passages and stuff. It'll explain our problem. That is straight up dirt.
Yeah.
There's crud in the carb.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, look at that.
Are you serious?
Dead cereal.
Our jet area has been reduced to probably a third of its original size.
You can also see the silt in the back of this one and not as much in that one.
Hey, David, are we going to bother with this rebuild kit? Steve, I didn't want to ask you a rhetorical question, but everything came off just perfectly serviceable.
The only reason we needed the rebuild kit is so that we had the confidence to take the carburetor apart. But we're Freiburger and Dulcich. We don't need that. No carburetor can stop us.
No.
Ta-da! Our new carburetor has arrived. It's actually not new at all. We took it apart, cleaned it up. We're gonna put it back on. It's gonna run like fuel injection. Okay, let's reinstall it. Now we find out if the carburetor works. Ooh, what if it starts really easily? We got the thing running, but it still runs terrible. I'm gonna check the timing because I think that could be way out of whack. Okay, rev it up! When I was trying to do the ignition timing, it was super erratic. Sometimes the light wasn't flashing at all. Other times it was telling me like 13 degrees. Sometimes it was 30 degrees. And here's why. I totally should have believed Dulcich when he said this yesterday or day before yesterday, that the breaker plate in this distributor is so loose, it's junk, which explains why the point gap changed. Remember last night when you were all crawled in here and I was saying, how does the gap just change from one stop to another? That's why. Look at it.
I think it's flopping around the deck like a fish out of water.
We were able to get a new distributor. I can't believe small town Oregon had those.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they drive a lot of high boys around here.
All the good stuff.
Yeah. Check this out. The brand new distributor has a sticker on it that says, warranty void if removed. You can't install the distributor without removing the gap. This is a crazy world.
Yeah.
I got it out, Steve.
Okay.
The thing you don't want to do is drop the oil pump push rod down into the crankcase. Because see, it is a hex-shaped shaft that goes in there, and it should have a retaining clip so that it can't come up, but sometimes they will. Fortunately, I saved it. New. All right, Steve's already lubed the distributor gear. Okay, in the right spot. There, got it.
You did?
Nailed it, Steve.
Freiburger.
Yeah.
Your talent never ceases to amaze me. Nice move on that.
Finally, we think it's fixed, although I'm not gonna swear to anything till we drive it. We stabbed that distributor in there. I timed it to 12 degrees initial, 30 degrees total, pretty conservative. It finally runs smooth. I think it's gonna be perfect. Whoa! Dude! Okay, in my defense, that thing was dangling like a piece of spaghetti and not even al dente.
Well, it kept changing all the time.
That's the thing.
Sometimes it would hit and sometimes it wouldn't.
Sometimes it would spark, sometimes it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was 13 degrees, sometimes it was 30. We just have to fix the Cadillac, though.
I think maybe the starter's falling out of that.
I think so.
If I could go wide open, I couldn't go wide open before.
This is great. My distributor was junk and the carburetor had major problems.
Oh yeah, they both were junk.
Yep.
And we're not backfiring, you know, like...
No, this is so much better. Night and day difference. Wow, this thing is good. It's actually unbelievable, the difference. It is completely drivable, no bogging. You can go wide open.
Yeah, it's fixed.
Yeah. Never question the Dulcich when he says the distributor is bad. Cadillac, we gotta look at the starter.
Here's the thing with the Cadillac. It seems to be running pretty good despite burning copious amounts of oil, but every time you start it, the starter gronches. I think it may just be falling off.
Sounds like it to me, because when it's running, it also goes.
Oh, you're moving the whole transmission. Yeah. It's got a new torque converter.
Oh, there's an adapter. Yeah. We went down to fix the starter and found out that, like, everything's loose down there. Primarily, the torque converter bolts are not tight to the flex plate. We were also looking, the transmission has an adapter to go to the engine that's cast iron about that thick. And there's like an unusual amount of wiggle between them, but we can't tell if that's just flex or normal. So first thing we're gonna do is tighten up the converter. And by we, I mean Steve. Clear?
Yep.
It's backing up, isn't it?
Stop right there.
Stopping there, keys are out.
Well, kind of explore that noise, as you know. I mean, you found the loose torque converter bolts, so that was a problem. And I tightened those all up, but the starter doesn't engage the flywheel very well. It's making a lot of grunging, but it's functional, and it's not, you can't just stick a shim in there and fix that, so.
Ah, that is hideous, but we're not fixing it. All right, let's get out of here. I thought we had this thing fixed.
Me too.
We're on the highway and it started surging and running bad and then it just shut off twice.
I'm kind of in favor of putting the mechanical pump back on. We know that a lot of times those pumps don't like to lift, and then you add all the heat, it might not be happy.
We've been hashing this out, and I think what we decided to do is hook back up the mechanical fuel pump and get rid of the electric one, which we installed just sort of as a guess. Let's see if it works. It should fire right up. It should be gas in the bowl.
Yeah.
Ugh. Steve says it's fixed. And when Dulcich talks, people listen. Yeah, this thing runs hot.
Yeah, it does.
This is a debacle. We're driving down the highway, and once again, it starts running out of gas, surging, bucking, dying. The thing is, when it's that hot, if it blows off a radiator hose or the cap bypasses and it hits you in the face, you're gonna look like Freddy Krueger. Oh, we're taking the hood off. Ready?
Ah, man, it's heavy.
It is.
Ah. It seemed like it settled in place.
Yeah, it like fit itself in.
Nice.
Will it work?
Will it start?
Yeah. Yes. There it goes. Ah. Ah. The curve of my emotions looks like a cardiogram,
I know.
and it's soon to flatline.
I know, me too.
Ah! This is among the most frustrating roadkills ever. This is stupid. I took a bolt off the hood. I am gonna shove it in here. I'm gonna hold it near the valve cover, and it should spark. Nothing. After another session of a ridiculous amount of troubleshooting, we finally figured it out. We traced it all back down inside the distributor, and we noticed there was a huge spark across the ignition points when they would open. Those sparks will eat up the points, which is exactly what happened. They were destroyed. One of two reasons.
First, this condenser that was in our brand new distributor could be garbage. Second of all, the points that were in our brand new distributor could be garbage. There's actually a third reason that's a big possibility, which is that when you're running an MSD coil or any coil that doesn't have an internal ballast resistor, with points ignition, you end up needing a ballast resistor to reduce the voltage to the coil. Now, I had measured that earlier, and when we were running, we only had about 9 volts. I thought that was okay. Maybe it only wants 7. We'll find out. Normally, if you're running a ballast resistor, you've got a circuit that bypasses it while it's cranking, so the thing will start, and then it'll run at lower voltage. We don't have that right now, so it only has 2 volts to the coil. Let's find out. Bring it up and hold it! Seven and a half when running, and it seems to fire up. I'm calling it great. Let's get out of here. Finally. Yes. Thank you, guys. Bye. Oh, man. Oh, it's so nice to hear it running great again.
I know.
Woo!
I'm glad it started with the ballast resistor.
Look at all that oil pressure. Yeah, it's a flawless piece of equipment.
It is now. It was a flawed piece of equipment before.
Yeah, it was horrible. I'm glad that you took that bullet.
Yeah, well,
it was pretty frustrating to drive. I hope the stupid Cadillac doesn't break and ruin our trip.
It won't.
We looked at the map, and there's a dirt road down here. Obviously, we got to check that out.
Look at this bridge.
Pretty nice.
Wow.
Well, at dinner last night, we bought Mason a Shirley Temple, and he was telling us that he was actually crying driving his own truck. It's really bad, all the oil smoke pouring into this thing, and that's what we have to fix. But you bought stuff yesterday.
Obviously, I came up with an ingenious solution to that problem.
I know.
All right, check it out, Freiburger.
So you're putting the thing on.
Twist on breather cap.
And then, oh, you're making a road draft tube.
How did you know?
Yeah.
The hose goes into the hole.
Kind of a press fit.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
And then...
Who are you gonna aim it at?
Right out the wheel well.
Oh, I figured you were gonna make me suffer.
No, no. It's fixed.
I know, it looks great. That was ingenious.
Thank you, Freiburger.
So it's gonna be 106 degrees today.
Oh, warm and balmy.
The hood is off, so I think we're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
We're headed to another junkyard. Looks like everything's fixed.
Yeah. I'm liking it right now. The tendency is to go too fast, so my only thing is not to let it get away from me.
Yeah, don't push it.
No. I'll keep it at 60 tops.
We made it to Big M Auto Wrecking in Williams, California. Whoa.
Look at all these cool cars.
I know. This is a great yard. This place is a gold mine.
Wow.
Wow. When you first come in here, it's like junkyard nirvana. You look at all the steering wheels, all the hubcaps, and to me, the old signs are the greatest. Look at the ancient oil company credit card sign, and there's way more. This is just great. Look at all of this stuff. As great as this whole yard is, the best treasures are right here. There's the 57 Fury, which is like a Christine car, but look at this. It's a 1969 Hearst Olds. This thing is one of 914 made. They were a special Hearst edition. They've got a fiberglass hood with the scoops on them. There's also a wing on the back that's fiberglass. The engine is a 455, 380 horsepower, 500 pound-feet. That is like a legit, very rare muscle car, and you just don't see them like this. That's as cool as it gets. I've seen this many engines at a yard before. I've just never seen them stored like this. Wow, man, I love this stuff. But unfortunately, it's time to go. Can you get it started?
Betcha.
Ooh, best yet.
You've got it all tuned up, my man. Let's get out of here and head for home.
From here, both of the vehicles just made it home, no problem. But what a way to bookend an episode, from junkyard to junkyard. As a matter of fact, the whole thing is about junk. From the Wagoneer to the Cadillac to the Ford truck that ran horribly when we started. And that's the message this whole episode. If you've got a vehicle and you think it doesn't run that good, just grab a friend and hit the road. It's the only thing that's gonna force you to fix the thing. And yeah, our troubleshooting was a little bit clunky, but ultimately we made that truck run better than any vehicle on 6 cylinders really should. So you know what? Buy garbage, grab a friend, make it run, hit the road, and have a blast. Oh, and visit junkyards at every chance you get, because that's what we do on Roadkill.
'Cause it's too cold for you here and now, so let me hold both your hands in the holes of my sweater. And all I am is a man. I want the world in my hands. I hate the beach, but I stand in California with my toes in the sand. Use the sleeves of my sweater. Let's have an adventure. Head in the clouds, but my gravity's centered. Touch my neck and I'll touch yours. You in those little high-waisted shorts. Oh, she knows what I think about and what I think about. One love, 2 mouths. One love, 1 house. No shirt, no blouse. Just us to find out. Nothing that I wouldn't wanna tell you about, no. 'Cause it's too cold for you here and now, so let me hold both your hands in the holes of my sweater. And if I may just take a breath away, I don't mind if there's not much to say. Sometimes the silence guides a mind to move to a place so far away, yeah. The goosebumps start to race the minute that my left hand meets your waist. And then I watch your face, put my finger on your tongue 'cause you love the taste, yeah. These hearts adore everyone the other beats hardest for. Inside this place is warm, outside it starts to pour. Coming down, 1 love, 2 mouths. 1 love, 1 house. No shirt, no blouse. Just us to find out. Nothing that I wouldn't wanna tell you about, no, no, no. 'Cause it's too cold for you here and now, so let me hold both your hands in the holes of my sweater. Whoa.
Roadkill, we are wrenching, racing, Rocky Mountain road tripping, and celebrating 10 years of the
Finnegan.
Freiburger.
This episode is super special for a reason I bet you don't even know. You have no idea.
Yeah, probably not.
This is almost exactly the 10th anniversary of you and I assembling this car, the General Mayhem. We took a clapped out 1968 Dodge Charger. I swap meted all the fenders and everything. We pulled a 440 big block out of a motorhome. Remember driving the motorhome on the highway on the way back?
Yes.
Remember we had the engine cover off and I was like, thermal quad! Thermal quad!
The only carburetor that punishes you for trying to go full throttle.
And then the Caltrans person came and actually helped us at the side of the road.
With an axe?
With an axe?
Yeah.
All that stuff. And we finally got the thing running at the very end of the episode, and it was so Dukes of Hazzard. The scene of us splashing through the water, jumping the embankment, going down the railroad tracks. Just great, great scenes. That was 10 years ago. And so I thought we would bring it back. Now, this episode's gonna seem super random, what we're doing.
Okay.
But I'm also really excited about it. You know, I collect drag strips, meaning I go to drag strips and keep a big list so that I can see where I've been. And I've never been here to Yellowstone Drag Strip, which is outside of Billings, Montana. It's been here since 2003. It's their 20th anniversary. And we're gonna run the quarter mile with the car and then take a big road trip that we've never done before south through Wyoming. And I will take my first and last pass at Bandimere. You should too, so that you can say you've done it, because it'll be done at the end of this season.
We have a moment of silence.
Yeah, it sucks.
Okay.
So that's my plan. I think I'm gonna change oil on this thing, check the air pressure in the tires, and we're gonna go down the quarter mile here at Yellowstone. I just want to do an oil change on this thing, and it's not as simple as it sounds. See, General Mayhem has an AccuSump on it. The AccuSump is basically an accumulator. It is a cylinder that, in my case, holds 3 quarts. They also make smaller ones. And it has a piston in it and air pressure on one side of the piston. Oil pressure comes in the other side, and then there's a valve that turns it on and off. I have an electric one that automatically senses what's going on, and you don't have to have a manual lever that some of them do. So to change the oil, what I'm gonna do is turn that valve open, and what's gonna happen is the oil pressure gauge go up. That's the AccuSump pushing oil into the engine. And I wait till that needle on the gauge comes all the way back down to 0. And at that point, all of the oil is in the oil pan, so I can drain it out and then put oil back in it. Now I'm gonna fire it up and check oil pressure, which it will have.
All right, so now the AccuSump should be full. I'm gonna shut it off.
I just fired it up and it pushed 3 quarts of oil into the AccuSump. While it was still running, I turned the valve off to close the AccuSump. Now that the thing isn't running, it's at 0 oil pressure, so when I open the sump, the pressure valve on the AccuSump will send oil into the engine, so you can use it as a pre-lube. That's good. I gotta set the air pressure in the tires, and then I think we're heading to the drag strip. Finnegan and I were reminiscing about the great times building the General Mayhem, but over 10 years, there's been a whole lot more to the story. The first big change that was made was it got a Hellcat engine, like a late model Dodge supercharged Gen 3 Hemi. It was the very first car to ever be Hellcat swapped. And to do that, they put in all of the wiring from a late model Dodge Charger, and it was all about doing a shootout at the very first Roadkill Nights event in Pontiac, Michigan. And then many years later, we ended up switching it back to 440 power. It's a bunch of episodes of Roadkill Garage on Motor Trend if you want to check that out. We had the engine rebuilt by Bostic Racing Engines. It's still real basic. It's the original block that was in the car from the motorhome. Same with the crank. I got some like H-beam rods. It has SRP pistons, 440 source heads. The thing makes 535 horsepower and I think 565 pound-feet of torque. So it's not super killer, but it's really good. Now, in both Hellcat and 440 configurations, we took this thing to Dirtfish Rally School.
I think that's the thing that most people remember about this car, because hanging this thing out in the pebbles and clay out there is like the greatest moment you can have in an automobile. Yeah! And now, here we are at a drag strip. But you gotta know what your car runs in the 1320, right? That's what I'm about to find out. All right, ready to go? When this car had the Hellcat in it, it ran in the 1060s at Tulsa. This is not gonna be that quick. Hellcat, of course, at the time, 707 horsepower. This thing right now, 535 horsepower. But that's okay. I'm racing the General Mayhem. I'm gonna smoke the slicks a little bit more than I normally would because they're brand new. Line lock.
Oh, good burnout, Freiburger.
Here we go, first pass ever with the 440 in the General Mayhem.
So this allegedly makes like 550 horsepower. It's not a light car, even though it's missing everything. 1290, that's what I'm saying.
It does not feel fast. It does not feel fast at all. I hope that was at least in the 12s, but I kind of don't think so.
Oh, wow. That's way better than I thought it was going to do. It just went 1257 at 109 miles an hour. It's still not fast, but that is awesome for this car at this altitude. What are we at? 4,000 feet. It's about 6,000 feet of density altitude. Correct it, carry the 7. Square root of we're slow. 1257, that's what you get.
Let me see right here if I can figure out where the converter stalls. I should have done that on the track. Let's see, foot on the brake. Yeah, it stalls at about 2,200. That's when it starts spinning the tires. 1257. All right, I'm glad it's in the 12s.
Wow, it's way quicker than I thought it was going to go. How do you feel?
It feels really slow. I know it ran 1257, so I'm not too embarrassed with that. With the correction factor, I think, you know, bench racing, it's a 1190s car.
I say go again.
Oh yeah, why not?
It's going again. I think he'll go 1250 this time. That's my prediction.
All right, let's see if we can make this better. Maybe I'll go really shallow. There we go. And I will stall it up. You're right there. And...
Oh, it did. Oh, he picked up a lot. It just went 1238 at 111.
that was better.
I don't even know what you did because I heard it bounce off the rev limiter in first, and I'm like, well, this won't go better. It's way better.
That's not rev limiter, that's hydraulic roller lifters floating.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there's that. Dude, you picked up a 10th in the 60-foot.
So when I was at the line this time, I was able to step on the brakes and bring it up to 2,000 before I left.
You picked up 1.5 miles per hour.
Oh, great.
Yeah, 111.
That's cool.
Can you do more? Can you do that again?
I need to shift it right before 6,000 for it to not float the valves a little. Right now, Finnegan is changing the rev limiter on this thing. At just above 6,000 RPM, you can hear the thing miss a little bit. I think it's floating the valves with the heavy hydraulic roller lifter, but it might be the rev limiter coming in just a hair early, so he's moving it up from 6,500 to 6,800.
Okay, there we go, 68.
Okay.
So Mayhem is an ignition box that you can digitally adjust with dials the launch RPM, which is called the two-step, and the main RPM rev limit. It was set at 6,500. We just moved it up to 6,800. Maybe now it won't bounce off the rev limiter in first gear. Maybe the trans is warmer, it'll slip more, and go faster. Aha! No rev limiter that time.
didn't touch the rev limiter, but I shifted a little bit shorter. We'll see. I don't know if this engine wants that short shift or if it would actually like 6,500. It makes peak power at 5,800, and usually you want to run past your peak horsepower point so that it can fall down into an RPM where it can still accelerate.
It went 1233 at 111.5. That was great. Did you short shift it or did the rev limiter help?
Short shifted.
Oh, all right. Well, your 60 foot was nearly identical, but you picked up almost 300ths to the 330. 1233.
1233.
Yeah, not bad.
That's probably what it does.
Why don't we go to a track that's even higher in elevation
And
go
make
slower?
it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, all right, let's
Hey,
do that.
it's not the destination or the ET, it's the journey.
That's right. Well, we are done at track number 1, on to track number 2, but first, we're taking off our slicks and putting on some treaded tires that have had so many burnouts done to them, they might as well be slicks. All right. This is a really nice track. I'm definitely coming back here.
How fast is this?
72.
It's about all we got.
That'll work.
Well, yesterday I checked another one off the list for the General Mayhem, got it to a drag strip, ran 1233. Right now we're in Billings, Montana, and we're gonna head out today. This will be the first really big road trip for this. We got 600 miles in total. Today about 220 or so, and we're gonna try and find a really cool junkyard that has Mopar stuff. So Montana into Wyoming. Ready?
Yes.
I'm gonna see if the kickdown works. No. Wow, this is really nice.
That's a beautiful drive.
Man, we just rolled into Wyoming from Montana, and immediately we spotted this like boat thing. It's like Cadillac Ranch in Texas with boats, so naturally you had to stop and check it out. At Cadillac Ranch, they all lean the same way. They added extra flair and sort of fanned them out.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
You got it, go, go, go.
Oh!
It was fun.
Performance Auto, used cars and parts. That's us.
Oh, that's a lot of vehicles.
Ooh, Chargers.
Oh, maybe they're parked near 68 Chargers.
Corvair.
Square body pickups.
Okay. Ooh. All right, this is our home. This is where I'm gonna get out and look.
Okay, I'll go with you.
This is Performance Auto, middle of nowhere, Wyoming, and it's really cool. The guy, Sean, who's involved here, emailed me and was like, man, you gotta come out and see this. He gave us permission to just drive around. This place is incredible.
I love the hood on these.
Yeah, this one's got the cool 69 hood blackout treatment, like the stripes.
It says Mopar on the windshield already.
It's pieced together from a dozen cars. This is exactly my speed.
This is good, Dave.
Yeah. This is like the General Mayhem of Roadrunners or satellites. Which one is it? Oh, it's a satellite with Roadrunner parts on it, but I wouldn't care. This is a 71 Charger. This is a 72 Satellite and a 65 Coronet. I found my car.
Yeah, this has a motor in it.
Don't care. This is not a Roadrunner, but I love it. With a 4-speed hump in it and 4-speed pedals. We're buying this one.
Dude, this has great
I
paint
would
on it.
totally have this. Here's gearhead logic. I just sold a car and I've got money burning a hole in my pocket. So I've been looking for a Roadrunner really hard. I've been finding Roadrunners that are fairly beat in like the $20,000 to $25,000 range. And then of course I come here and I spot this Belvedere. So instead of the Roadrunner, this is a 1969 Plymouth Belvedere, the lowest trim model that you could get, and it's actually what the Roadrunner was based on. A Roadrunner would be this car with a few stickers and a different hood on it and maybe some different brakes and a sway bar. Other than that, they're the same thing. And I purchased the thing for way less than that. And so it's like I saved like $20,000, right? I actually got this, and my plan for it is sort of to leave the paint the way it is, finish up the interior pretty nice. I'm glad it has windows unlike the General Mayhem, and I've got a 426 Hemi that used to be in the Hemi Gremmy that I hope will find its way into this car. Oh, this is great. This thing's not running awesome after the Junkyard tour. It's sort of burbling and glugging and maybe running on 7. It might just be because we were bouncing around so much that the carburetor might have glugged. Oh, we need to tighten that. That's actually okay, but let's tighten the belt so we don't flip it. Yeah, that's that squeak. I know the underside of the hood on this thing looks filthy, and it is. It's not from what we just did here. It's because I never hosed it off from Dirtfish. Oh, wow. You should see how much mud's on the K-member now. Whew, we're gonna have to hose this off before we go to the drag strip. Oh, that new car feeling. Man, it was a great day today. We got 260 plus miles on the General Mayhem, which is actually more than it's ever gone, I think.
I like to think of that as closer to 300 than 200.
If that makes you feel better,
Let's
that's
just
fine.
go 300.
It felt like 5. To me, the highlights of the day, though, were the Junkyard, acquiring a new project car, and then we went through this canyon that was amazing.
Yeah, the Bighorn River was really cool.
We're roughly halfway on our trip between Billings, Montana and Denver with drag strips at both ends. I think it's a good time for a General Mayhem sort of road test evaluation.
She's plush, man.
Yeah, it rides pretty good. It just drives like a regular car. It's a lot of fun. Automatic transmission works. It's just used garbage. You want to drive?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Yes, I do.
This is a dirt road, so let's take it. Ooh, this is bumpy.
Bumpy. It's an interesting detour.
Yeah, I didn't anticipate this. Wondering why we're not charging. Have you not revved it up past about 2,000 since you started it?
Maybe not.
There we go. Well, now. It's going on and off, on and off.
I wonder if the cable's loose from all the bouncing around.
Yeah, either that or the plug on the field wire. We're 1 minute out of Riverton, and I look over and the volt gauge is not showing any charge. And we pulled over to a spot where there just happened to be a Roadkill fan right here, and he loaned us a voltmeter, and sure enough, this thing is not charging. We haven't gone through and wiggled all the wires or everything yet, so we have some fiddling to do.
You want to fiddle in the shade away from the mosquitoes?
Okay.
Since we didn't get that far from town?
Sure.
Just throwing it out there, you know.
All right, let's hit it.
You can find a coin-op car wash and blast the mud off this.
That would be a good idea, too.
Since they don't want that on their drag strip when we do make it there, because we are going to make it there.
I'm watching the voltmeter gauge, and it's down, and then every once in a while it ticks up. Oh, there's a car wash right there.
We're going to wash our car.
Yeah.
And fix it.
Our car isn't charging, and so we're gonna wash it. Seriously, we came here to get some shade and to cool off, and I actually ran into the car wash owner, and he said, go ahead and blow your mud chunks all over our bay. He doesn't care, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get all the mud off of it because when we go to the drag strip, I don't want to drop all the crud onto the track and be that guy. And once we got it all cleaned up, then we'll troubleshoot.
Yes.
It's good enough. I really hope we can fix this alternator. I'm gonna find out if it has battery voltage over here. Yep, this has battery voltage. Okay, rev it up. That is weird.
It jumped twice.
And occasionally it would show 12.3. Trying to think how to troubleshoot that.
Hit it with a hammer.
Well, yeah, that's what I was wondering. Is like, can I smack it and see if it works? This is dumb, but I'm gonna try and hit the alternator and see what happens. Nothing, right?
Every now and again, it jumps up.
Oh, now it's working, isn't it?
Working now.
Now it's got a ton of load, so it's squeaking the belt. All it was that connection.
All right, we're back.
So I turned the turn signal switch, and then it went up. And I was like, oh, it's fixed. And then it went down.
When you turned it off, I had that unplugged.
Ah.
When I plugged it back in, the belt started squealing really bad because all of a sudden it had a bunch of load because it was charging.
Oh, yeah, it's 14 now.
Yeah, so I think it's just that little connection.
Oh, sweet.
Let me crimp it a bit and make it better.
Okay.
And then finally get out of here. We're still where we started.
We're 3 blocks
Yeah.
from our hotel.
Okay, give it a shot. Yeah, the belt's squealing because it's charging.
We have a charging system. That is 13 volts at idle.
Okay, can I try and fix that? I tighten the belt. Let's see if it squeaks. Go for it.
All right.
Okay.
There we go. This is where we broke down earlier.
Yeah.
So in 30 seconds, we're already doing better.
And now.
All right, progress.
Yep. And it's charging.
Danger, no trespassing. I will listen. I will 100% listen.
This is Jeffrey City. This place is uranium mine boom town. I guess through the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and in the mid 80s, uranium crashed. Almost everyone left. But there's still streets, some cool old vehicles, some burned out buildings. Anyway, it's pretty interesting. We stopped in Muddy Gap, Wyoming for gas, and the guy who owns the station told us to do donuts, so, you know, you can't let him down. Pretty nice.
That was fun.
Good donut shop.
It's a solid automobile for making donuts.
See, what is going on? Yeah, it does that sometimes. It's got to be the carburetor flooding, right?
Yeah.
It's weird. Now we're headed into a dark cloud.
Oh, wow.
That's bad. We're not going over there. We're going over there.
Yeah, I hope we just keep going this way.
To Steamboat Springs, Colorado, which is like the same state we're supposed to end in, so if it all falls apart now, we can call it good. Woo, that is bad. The car's running terrible, but we have a plan coming tomorrow. We kicked it off in Billings, Montana. We drag raced this thing. By now, we're at an actual 450 miles, which we'll call
500.
We've driven 500 miles in the General Mayhem. How cool is that? The thing is, this carbureted 440 is huffing and puffing and bogging and smoking. I honestly had no idea that this kind of altitude change was gonna make that big of a difference in the drivability. We're at about 7,000 feet here. I'm gonna give you a little bit of an explainer. Why are we changing spark plugs? Well, it's because they're fouled, and they're fouled because it's way too rich. This thing was tuned on a dyno at West Tech Performance where it's essentially sea level, and we only jetted the carburetor so that it would deliver enough fuel to give us wide open throttle performance at about an air fuel ratio of 12.5 to 1. 12.5 parts air, 1 part fuel. But then we're up here at altitude. This is 6,700 feet at Steamboat Springs. The higher you go in altitude, the less air density you have, the less air is available. So when you take your carburetor up here and you've still got the jets from down the hill, you're flowing not enough to overcome the fact that there isn't as much air here. So what happens is our air fuel ratio has probably gone to like, 9 to 1, maybe worse, meaning that there is so much more fuel per air that it can't even burn all of it. So what happens is unburned fuel gets all sooty on a spark plug like this, and that's what all these black deposits are. And that means that eventually that spark plug gets so fouled that the spark won't even jump. And that just adds up to all kinds of badness. So overly rich and foul plugs make General Mayhem a very unhappy 440. We changed all the fouled spark plugs. That's not going to address the real problem, but I'm going to try and crutch it a little bit by messing with the idle mixture screws. There's 4-corner idle mixture screws on this particular carburetor. So by screwing them in, I make the thing leaner. By screwing them out, I make it richer. I believe this is a Holley 830 old HP. All right, go for it. Wow, it runs terrible. Now I'm gonna lean it out, see if it makes a difference. So what I'm gonna do is move the rear ones to 1. Hear how it's running better already?
There we go. That's better.
And then I'm gonna put these at 1.
Now I hear 8 happy cylinders. That's much better.
Is it? Oh, wow. This thing has a huge squirter in it. This also explains why it is gurgling black smoke and why it's so rich. All right, we're on our way to the neighborhood of Bandimere Speedway.
You don't have to pump it anymore. It fires right up. Good.
Car's running great.
It is way smoother. I really wonder how much of that is putting the smaller squirter up front, because I really think they dribble.
I think you're right.
Do you feel the General Mayhem's actually obligated to go on dirt every time it's seen? I guess that's been a rule so far.
It is its natural habitat.
Well, this place turned out to be all paved except for the parking lot. And when you're in a gravel parking lot, what are you gonna do? With the spool, it just drifts so easy. Will it Rockford?
Oh, let's find out.
Yeah. I tried a Rockford earlier in the episode, and I'm actually hoping they cut it out of the show because it was completely awful. Finnegan did not school me.
How's our oil pressure?
Yeah, oil pressure rock solid.
That's fun. Thanks for letting me drive.
I was completely relaxed, man. It was just... Oh!
We're not low on gas, are we?
I mean, it still doesn't love the altitude. The carb's got to be leaking.
Well, that was going really good right up until the part where it wasn't. Made it about 38 feet away from the scene of the crime. We thought we were out of here, and then the car just shut off. And I think it's because there's gas leaking everywhere.
Here's how this works. Fuel comes in the bowl right here. Underneath this screw is the needle and seat. That's basically the on-off switch. It either lets fuel flow or it doesn't. And it does that based on the position of the float. The needle and seat is activated by a lever on the float so that when it drops down, that needle and seat opens. When it comes up, it shuts the valve. And so you can adjust it with this screw and nut. What I'm gonna do is just lower the float bowl. So I'm going to loosen this, and it didn't leak gas, unusually. So I'm gonna move that down one flat and another half. Then I will tighten that and do the same back here. Now with that lower, hopefully it doesn't glug out the boosters as much. Go for it.
Fired right up.
We do keep making it better.
Oh yeah. Where to now?
Let's try to find actual dirt road.
Okay. I like actual dirt road.
Yeah, see how it's a numbered public road?
Got it.
The hills are alive with the sound of Mopars. I didn't think of Colorado as a general mayhem state, but
Yeah.
this is ideal.
Wow, this is awesome.
So here we are, enjoying off-road merriment and beauty in the rolling hills of Colorado. Every time we do some fun dirt roading with this thing, that carburetor rebels. What's happening is it is glugging fuel into the engine, like literally just pouring out of a bucket in there. You can tell because when he just took the air cleaner off, it's actually all wet in here. I didn't remove it before, but here is the actual needle and seat. This part right here touches that arm on the float, and it either closes off the flow of fuel like that or opens it like that. Seems perfectly free. Mike just adjusted the rear float level with it, and he's got the screw out of the side of the bowl, so I'm gonna fire it up and he'll see if that fuel is like glugging out of there or if it's right at the bottom of the hole where it needs to be.
Wow. It's like a river.
Pouring out?
Yeah.
How is it doing that? Where is that fuel pressure coming from? Here's the freaky thing. So we're working on it. The fuel system's open. It leaked, it stopped. Then all of a sudden we're in the middle of adjusting the needle and seat and we get a bunch of pressure that starts farting on us. How is that?
I don't know. You have one hell of a fuel pump there, I guess.
Where does the pressure just all of a sudden come from? The tank cap's off, so it's fully vented.
Yeah, I opened the cap all the way.
And it's not like it's a heat problem. It's not boiling the gas. I can leave my hand on any part of the fuel system. It's not vapor lock. Want me to start it again?
Yeah, it's at the bottom of the hole right now. Okay.
And now it runs fine.
What's all that new noise?
I don't know.
Don't you think we need to check into that?
Yeah, that's not normal. Made a noise like something was dragging on the ground.
Oh, look at the tire. I'm glad that didn't blow on us at speed.
All right. Go for it.
Okay, well that was fun. Woo! That was total roadkill moment. We left the dirt back there and it seemed like we had fixed the carburetor. It was running good, but then the car was shaking real bad. There's a giant bubble in the tire. I'm pretty sure it was from your action on the parking lot.
Thank God we brought the slicks with us though.
Now we have slicks on it. And here's the good thing about altitude. Those had 13 pounds in them when we left Billings, Montana. And this is about 2,000 more feet of elevation, a little bit more than that. And so the tires will have more than 13 pounds in them now.
Oh yeah, they're DOT rated now at this altitude.
The really soft sidewalls on the slicks are gonna get real hot, real fast going around curvy mountain roads. but hey, it runs good.
I love changing tires on the side of mountain roads.
Look how's Roadkill. We just made it here to Silverthorne, Colorado, where we're probably gonna have to stay for the night because it's starting to rain and we're on slicks. We don't have regular tires. And after we got off that last section of dirt, I'm like, we fixed this carburetor.
Oh, it
we're
ran
home
great.
free, ran perfect, until we got here in town, and once again, it's just glugging gas.
I think the flow could go down a little more tomorrow.
Yeah, that is a seriously confusing problem.
We are at 9,100 feet.
This isn't a Finnegan rounded up.
No, actual 9,100.
We are at 10,000 feet.
There you
That's
go.
the problem.
There you go. Now you're on my program. It only took 12 years.
In my mind, the plan for this episode was super simple. Start at one drag strip that I'd never been to, take a radical joyride through the Rocky Mountains, and end up at a drag strip that's gonna be closing. It got a lot more complicated between then and right now. I cannot wrap my head around this problem we're having that seems to be fuel pressure or float level or something.
Yeah.
The carburetor glugs fuel into the engine.
Yeah, but not all the time. Like
Right.
it'll run for an hour and a half perfectly fine. And then you come into a town, slow down a little bit, and it feels like the float is sunk.
Yeah.
Except it's not a fountain of fuel out of the vent tube like what normally happens when the float sinks. It's just
It's
kind of
spitting.
Just spitting.
I'm gonna hope that we actually fixed it again last night when we were messing with it.
We lowered the float level some more. It seems happy. Let's put our tires on. We're only an hour away from the drag strip.
Yeah.
We'll just go.
We actually managed to drive this thing 100 miles on the slicks last night, and key to that was Mike figured out that they had leaked down and they weren't at the same pressure, and we equalized them. When you have a spool, you have to have the same tire pressure. Otherwise, even going straight down the highway, the lower tire is gonna end up getting shredded more than the higher pressure tire, and you'll blow one, so. We lived. Whew. Well, we're leaving Silverthorne, Colorado. Carburetor's running perfectly right now, but we do have to climb another 3,000 feet on our way to Denver.
With no windows, but we have doors. Oh, I'm glad we took the slicks off because the road's wet.
Yeah, me too. And in case you were wondering, no, we don't have windshield wipers. It's snowing!
In case it's not obvious.
It is snowing. I totally did not see this coming. Hey, it won't be snowing inside the Johnson Tunnel.
I appreciate you, Mr. Johnson. Are we going down now?
We're at 20,000 feet.
Feel free to slow down if you want.
Well, yeah, the question is, can I get over?
Oh, yes. Go
Good?
for it. Yeah, you're good. I feel like this is one of the more dangerous things we've ever done.
We're dead. It's gonna be a great drag race today. My biggest joy will be if we arrive and the carburetor's still working fine. However, it will frustrate me because I will have no idea how it was fixed.
We lowered the float level. We fixed it. It's running great now. There's the sign right there. Look, welcome to Bandimere Speedway. We have made it.
It's official.
You.
And it's actually not raining at this moment. And this is it, Bandimere Speedway. It was really important to me to set this as the final destination for this episode because it's near certainty that this is going to be the final season in 2023 here at this track. This place was founded right here in the Colorado mountainside, 1958, by John Bandimere Sr. Super interesting cat. There were stories of him in Hot Rod Magazine. He made his own superchargers to overcome the altitude in these places. He had his own parts store, and he opened the drag strip here, and there's been a bunch of innovations over the years. So that screeching sound you hear is the noise of that rotator from the tires turning backwards on the tractor, and that was invented here at Bandimere. So was the CompuLink system, which is the computer timing and the screens and everything that are set up to run every single NHRA national event as far as timing goes. This is gonna be like, I don't know, the dozenth time that I've been at the track, but today is gonna be the first time I've ever driven down it, and so we will probably be seeing the first and last time that I'll ever get to make a pass here at Bandimere. Okay, so here's the thing. This is the roadkill part of it. Our carburetor is still a mystery. We've got the front float sunk all the way to the bottom. We drove it all the way here. It's running better than it has on the whole trip. We don't get it. There's no way in any textbook from Holly that this thing will ever make it all the way down the drag strip with the front float bowl that low. It should run out of fuel.
Which is why I said, if you get 300 feet out there and you don't like it, just back up. I have the tools. I'll raise it back up. Go again.
One way or another, we're gonna get the General Mayhem down this track, and I don't care if it's a 28-second pass. This is so cool that they're letting us do this. They've got a full event going on here today. There's weather delays. They just prepped the track, and I'm gonna be the first one down.
I predict a very, very rowdy burnout out of Mr. Freiburger right now, because this might be the only time he ever gets to do this at this track. It sounds great.
All right.
$195, 60 foot. It's not bad for that car. $1297 at 106. That's not bad.
All right, it's slow, but I did it.
Well, there you have it. After all that monkeying around with the carburetor, going from one drag strip on one side of the mountain all the way over here to another one, we only lost half a second.
Well, the General Mayhem made it all the way down the track at Vandermeer. I really thought it was going to start running out of fuel because of that float bowl situation, but who knows? It magically healed. We did it.
Dude, it's not on fire.
No, and it ran all the way down the track.
Yeah.
What'd it run?
You still have a 12-second car.
Really?
Yeah.
What'd it go?
$1297 at 106.
Okay. I threw away the reaction time because it was stalling higher. And I'm like, why is it stalling higher without spinning the tires? I'm like, oh, because it's not making any power. And so I stalled it higher before I left.
Ah, dude.
Yeah.
It looked great.
I know it's a stupid numbers game, but I'm super happy it went 12s, even if it's 97.
Yeah, you went 12s after all the dirt roads, all the rain, everything you put that motor through, and then brought it up here on the mountain, still went 12s.
At 8,000 feet.
Nice work.
Ah, all right, I feel way better now.
I know. Let's go celebrate.
We built the General Mayhem 68 Charger at the end of Season 2 of Roadkill, and this is near the end of Season 12. That's 10 years. Yet strangely, this is the first big road trip when the car has 440 power. And it's not a drag car, but this episode did show me that it probably runs high 11s at sea level. That's conjecture. What's fact is that we had one of those trips with lifetime memories just by once again setting a simple goal and nailing it. I saw a new track at Yellowstone, and we bid farewell to one of the greatest drag strips on the NHRA circuit. We also showed that I have a little bit more work to do to perfect the Charger. But the good news is that the Vandermeer family has announced that they are seeking land to build an even bigger track near Denver. And when they do, you can bet I'll find an excuse to be there on a future episode of Roadkill.